On today's show, we will discuss anger, and then later Martin Garrett will join us to talk about Easter for Eli. In this opening segment, I wanted to share something that I hope helps you when you may feel angry about what you see happening in your life and maybe even angry or frustrated with God in the midst of it. Sometimes I believe we as Christians don't think we can get angry or even feel off when it comes to God. So what do? We decide to put a smile on and hide how we truly feel, or worse yet, isolate ourselves from Him and others. But here's what I'm learning. First of all, it's actually okay to be angry, at least for a time. Secondly, holding it in doesn't do any good for anyone. And third, God already knows we're feeling this way, so what's the point of trying to suppress it? I've prayed for things and didn't see the outcome that I had wanted or hoped for, and I got angry. I was upset with God. But here's the thing. It's okay to express your anger to Him, but we can't stay there. I've decided it's best to just let it out, tell Him all that you're feeling, but then don't keep doing this for more than maybe about a day. I know I have to get it all out and then surrender it back to Him. The second thing I do is I replace those thoughts with scripture and worship. You see, my mind needs renewed. Colossians 3:2 says, "Set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on earth." And when I fill my mind with the Word of God, that's what I'm doing. Lastly, I ask Him for help, for the anger to just be released, for me to trust Him no matter what I see happening around me, to realize that He sees the whole picture and knows exactly what He's doing in it all, and that He is a good Father. I say this to say, God's okay with you being real with Him, telling Him what you truly are feeling. But we always must make that choice to not stay there and to move forward. So go ahead, get real. God sees you right where you are, but don't let those days define you. Instead, let Him pull you through it and get ready for what's on the other side, the blessing that He truly wants to give. And we are just three ladies, all with big opinions, always backed by a biblical standpoint. Let's talk about it.
This segment is brought to you by Harry's Construction, whose motto is, "If you can dream it, we can create it." They are the kitchen and bath design experts, so call Harry's Construction for all your remodeling needs.
Welcome back to Let's Talk About It, and today is probably our favorite topic ever, right, ladies?
Favorite ever!
Anger. So, earlier I talked about in the monologue that it's okay, but what are your feelings when it comes to anger? Is it an issue for you or something you don't deal with much? Or Teresa?
I could be mad and you may never see it.
Really?
You
That
might
is
not
not
see
me.
it. Boy.
I'm a Southern girl. I guarantee you're not going to know it.
Yeah.
You won't know
You
it.
probably won't know it because I know myself that I'm not going to stay mad forever. So
Right.
I'll just,
Right.
before I say something that I have to walk back,
Mm-hmm.
I'll just fake it till I make it type of thing. And it dissipates if you allow it.
You will see it all over me. Just recently, a friend showed me a cup that said, if your mouth doesn't show it, your face will. And I'm like, yep, that's for me. Need that cup because there's no way you're not going to see every emotion. If I'm not saying it, you're seeing it. And I'm probably saying it.
And interestingly enough, I don't deal with my emotions well. And anger tends to be the one I funnel all the rest of them into. Like, if I'm sad, it's much easier for me to be angry than to be sad. I don't deal with being sad well. And I've realized that as I've matured and gotten older. And it's something that God has really worked with me in. And also, if I'm angry about something, I don't show it, but I have learned to actually be able to talk to God about it, be totally free and open with Him, because He is big enough to handle me.
Yeah.
He's big enough to handle me.
For me, I feel like anger is just something that's been with me for a long time that I easily express.
Okay.
Like I just
Why
easily
though?
express.
How did you learn to express? Do you do it in a healthy way?
No.
Not okay. Okay.
I would say most of the time, no.
Okay.
Like you lash out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know when you're doing it, or do you know after?
Oh, I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure I do.
Okay.
Hey, because you have to admit, when you're mad and you lash out, it just feels so
Honestly,
good
yeah.
to do
And
that
my
for the
poor
moment.
My poor John, because he gets the butt of my anger. Whether I'm mad at you or you, I take it out on him.
Right.
That's just he's my safe place.
Right. I think a problem for me is one, I've said this, I'm sure on the show, I think I'm always right. So, because
I think you're always right.
well, thank you.
Okay.
And because I think that, if
Yes.
someone differs from me or tries to fight me on it,
Okay.
then anger arises
Okay.
in me. So that's a big thing.
Okay.
And I think the second thing is that I like control.
Okay.
And so if it's not in my control, then anger rises up. So I think those two things would be the reason why I get angry so easily.
But you also are balanced with you get sad.
Yeah, but I'm not someone to get real
Okay.
sad
You're-
about
like
things.
you're not real sappy.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
That would not.
She's sassy, but not
Sappy.
Yes.
I like it. Yeah, like, and listen, there's a lot of people out there that are just people. They're
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't deal well with a lot of people, you know. And I think it's funny, I've probably had 5 or more times recently where I've had to deal with a situation of people out in the community, you know, like McDonald's, Walgreens, places like this. And I'm like, God, please don't test me in this because I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail. Like, I cannot keep my mouth shut.
You really feel like you failed in each of those situations?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I tend to try to think ahead and decide before I ever get in a situation. Okay, how will I deal with a person in the church or a family member? Because those are the people we get angry with a lot.
Actually, I was talking about this at a Bible study recently. I'm pretty good at handling the women in the church, people in the church. I'm pretty good at not showing my frustration to them.
Okay.
I may go back to Troy and say, man, this person did, and I'm
Okay.
frustrated with it. But to their face, I'm pretty good at that.
Okay.
It's people actually that I don't really have a relationship with, or my husband. So it's those two. But that do something that frustrate me. Just sharing a little example. I asked God to help me, but probably not in time because it just was too late at that point. I ordered McDonald's and they're wrong all the time. It's all the time. And I brought my son home his food and he's like, where's the chicken nuggets? And I'm like, are you for real? And so I had to go back because that's a big part of the meal. And she's like, there was no chicken nuggets in there? And I'm like, and I stayed calm. I said, yes, there's no chicken nuggets in here. Well, then she got like an attitude with me like that I'm not going to the right person. Like, I'm not working with the right person. I'm like, is there a right person at McDonald's? Because I don't think there is. And she started getting an attitude. The minute the attitude came out was the minute that I could not hold back.
You started.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like I had to come at her too. And then she told me to leave and here's your money back, but I'm not giving you your meal. Then my attitude.
It accelerated that much?
Yes.
Wow.
It like got that quick.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So now I'm there too. and yelling and being the Kelly that I can be in those situations. I was so mad. I couldn't control it any longer.
Well, first of all, I would have got in the car and went through the drive-thru and got that meal again. But,
yeah, so it's people that, like, customer service is a hard one for me. I'm like, come on, guys.
Is.
Like, you need to be better. And so then it immediately rises up. Sports is a hard one for me. When I'm at a sporting event and I think it should be a certain way, something immediately rises up in me, and I do struggle to control it.
if it's something that made me angry that was about me, like I don't like to be talked down to. There's history there when I grew up. It's a family thing. It's a because of how I grew up, I can't stand that. And but you can do it to me and I won't. Fine, I'll get over it, but it's when you do not treat my kids properly, that and I come unglued, and also Johnny, because Johnny is a good guy, and I see a lot of times instances in his life where he's not being treated right, and I just want to come out of my skin. And
So what do you do?
well, right now there's something about Cody that he's not being treated properly, and it's got me very, very worked up. But I have prayed this over him before, and he has always come out on top. Always. And I know, well, the greatest predictor of the future is the past, and God he's come out fine all the other times, and I feel confident he's going to come out this time. But there's not always the situations where you can go high and to the right.
No, that's right. It's
not appropriate. I can't say anything. I can't do anything. I'm holding on to this ball of anger because things aren't going the way I want them to go. And there's only one place I can put it is, here you go, God. I have to, because I will lose sleep over it. It just, inside of me, I have to give it away. And so I have kind of learned to do that, but I wasn't always a saint about it. And then we've talked about this before, you get angry and mad about something or somebody, and then you feel like you have to tell 59 people so that you have your troops.
Yes, so that
it's not even about,
you're right, Teresa.
so that you know that you're right for being angry. Well, the Bible says, "Be angry and sin not." That's
and when we get angry, how does it look to the other customer at McDonald's who
I will be
you
honest,
don't know who they are?
I knew enough. This is hilarious, but I'm going to share it. I knew enough to look around.
Oh,
Do I know anyone here? Does anybody know me? No? All right, I'm going to let go. I knew enough.
but you know that your face is on a billboard in town,
I
right?
know, and we're on TV. I know. And that's why my word for this year is nothing changes if nothing changes.
That's right.
Because God is speaking to me saying, you say
That's right.
that you want to do it differently and you want to be different, but you're not doing anything to change it.
And I have to decide ahead of time, how am I going to respond to this person when they come at me? I have to do
anger
that.
is not a sin. It is an emotion.
Right.
It's
an
what,
emotion.
It's what you choose to do with it. And I wish I could tell you, Kelly, that I'm a saint and give you all the advice in the world.
Me too.
But I can't help you because I'm not perfect either. So.
Breathe.
And
I prepare.
Prepare ahead.
Prepare ahead, You know, if you're walking
Take a
into
step
something,
back.
take a step back. Try to close the mouth. That's a hard one, but try.
Yep.
Pray. Pray. You need to pray. So, anger in itself is not a sin. It's what you do with it. It's where you let it sit and what it becomes. So be careful not to sin in your anger. When we come back, we will have our guest for the day.
Impact Productions, a multi-layer technology company providing on-site, online, and in-studio video services. Contact Impact Productions to capture your story.
When it's time for a new roof, Champion Roofing is your best choice. We're a certified award-winning roofing contractor, meaning your roof is done right the first time. Call today.
Champion Roofing, we're the solution.
Welcome back to Let's Talk About It, and we have a special guest with us today. I'm not even going to say your name. You tell us your name and a little bit about yourself.
Hi, thanks for having me. Martin Garrett. I have the Easter for Eli Foundation, and we deliver Easter baskets to children's hospitals all over the country.
So, how long have you been doing this, and what got you started?
Well, my son was diagnosed with T-cell non-Hodgkin's lymphoma at 2 years old, and he fought the cancer for 2 years. Unfortunately, losing his battle 10 days before his 4th birthday, May 7th of 2009. In them 2 years he was in the hospital, we spent 2 Easters in Children's Hospital. So my aunt and some coworkers made Easter baskets, like 20 or 30 Easter baskets, and they would deliver them to Children's Hospital. Well, our room was already completely full of all kind of items because we had spent many months there. And so I left them pick a couple items out of each basket, and then we would deliver the rest of the items to the child life department on the oncology floor.
Oh, that's awesome.
So all the rest of the baskets and items would be delivered to all the other kids on Easter.
Oh my gosh.
So we shared it then. So they continued to do it after he passed away, and I would deliver 30 or 40 baskets for 3 years to Children's Hospital. In 2014, Warnaco closed down, and there was several of the workers there that all did the baskets and built the baskets. So we didn't have any baskets in 2014. 2015, I decided to start a Facebook page with hopes of 319 baskets was my goal. Very first
Why that
year.
number?
That's how much 100% of Children's Hospital's beds is 319 in the new hospital.
Oh my gosh.
So I had planned to fill up 100% of Children's
Yep.
Hospital's beds,
Yep.
and just gave us a goal then to shoot for. Well, I started a Facebook page, Easter for Eli, and within 2 or 3 weeks we had our 319 baskets.
Wow.
A couple more weeks we had 500.
Oh
A few more weeks we had 800.
Oh,
my goodness. The first year?
We ended with 1,000 baskets, and I didn't want to only stop at just Children's UPMC, so we decided to reach out to several other hospitals. I'm a Shriner, so I wanted to do Philly Shriners Hospital. We also added Hershey Children's Hospital to our mix, and then I had a family friend, Caden Eastep, that had fought cancer in Danville and beat cancer and is doing well. And his father reached out to me and asked if we could, kind of honor him and deliver to Danville. So that was our 4th hospital. So we filled 4 hospitals that year and 2 Ronald McDonald houses with over 100%.
Martin, that is beautiful. That is
a
beautiful story.
Usually you hear like, well, our first year was, we did okay. And you're like, no, we did 1,000.
Yeah, we've kind of tripled our goal, and since then we started setting our goals to whatever that previous year was, and fast forward, here we are 10 years later, and we have a 10,000 basket goal now.
Wow.
How many hospitals?
We have delivered to 54 children's hospitals,
Oh my goodness.
21 Ronald McDonald houses, and 3 Shriners hospitals in 21 states.
Oh my
And
goodness.
how, just logistically,
Well, a lot of our, we cover 8 states ourselves, from New York to Delaware.
who's we?
Just myself and my little bit of a team of
Okay.
Easter for Eli locally.
Okay.
Any of the volunteers and helpers, my daughter, other people on the board
Okay.
that will be able to help. We have 3 enclosed box trailers and our own 15-passenger van now. So
In a warehouse, right?
And we're building a warehouse right now, yeah. We're building a warehouse storage facility, a place to do our builds. But yeah, we'll travel starting March 11th, which will be 3 weeks prior to Easter. We start traveling, we'll do Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh, Akron, Cleveland, and then we meet a family in Akron that will bring a box trailer and take 800 to 1,000 baskets off of us there. And they do Cincinnati, Columbus, and like a half a dozen hospitals on the western side of Ohio for us. So we'll travel as far west as Cleveland, Ohio on March 11th.
What's the furthest state that you?
The furthest I've been is probably, I mean, it's all different directions in a triangle. I mean, I'm up into New York, and then as far as northwest would be in Cleveland, myself, I travel, and then south would be Delaware.
Okay.
But somebody picks it up in Cleveland and
Yeah.
takes it further.
The furthest we've been in 21 states. I mean, we've been in Oregon, California,
Wow.
Tennessee, and as far as north is, we've been out of the United States into Manitoba, Canada. I have what I call Team Easter for Eli reps in Maine as well. Had a lady that picked us up last year, ran with it. She did a fundraiser, a basket build, and delivered 250 baskets themselves in Maine, throughout Maine. She has a goal of 500 baskets this year.
That
You
is
know,
just
I just
amazing.
have to say, with all of the negative things, with all of the hate mongering and fear mongering, this just blesses my soul.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
That I just
we're blessed.
I mean, the fact that you took something that was very tragic for your family, and it could have stopped with your aunt, and that would have still been a super great thing.
Yeah.
But it just.
And did you
Oh.
ever think it would be as
No,
big
not
as
at all. I said, and then when you go south, we have two reps in Florida. It'll
So
cover
how
Florida
do
for
people
us.
help you? How do I give you stuff?
Okay, biggest part is the first part of the year up until now, we didn't have our own storage facility, so we would kind of work from January till 3 weeks prior to Easter, or till we do our final delivery normally on Good Friday. But we have a Facebook page, Easter for Eli,
Okay.
a website, easterforeli.com, Instagram page. Everything's pretty much spelled out there.
Okay.
Throughout PA and Maryland now, we have 65 drop-off locations,
Okay.
which are basically businesses that open their doors, advertise for us, just like Toys for Tots and all the other foundations. You can take a completed basket there, which we ask for all new items, no food, no candy in the basket. All the baskets we'd like to be wrapped in a clear basket bag like the ones here you see. And one thing we also ask is for some way to be labeled with a 4-year age range and gender. That we found out helps the staff when they get 800 baskets in a hospital and they're looking for a 0 to 4-year-old boy right away.
Sure.
We don't have to be digging through it. So, and as we're delivering baskets, as we do it earlier and before Easter, we're not ever there on Easter. These baskets, as we're unloading and the patients are coming and going, we try to meet with the families and give a basket while a child's
Do you
walking in
really?
or out. So we have a little bit of interaction at some hospitals. We've spent full days in hospitals and got to go in the rooms and spend a lot of time, meet some families.
And you do this all in your free time, whatever that is.
Yeah, it's free time. That's for sure.
Your
I
free
work
time.
full time and try to run this foundation. And
Okay.
we've just been blessed. I couldn't do it without the community's help. So businesses offering fundraisers and families that got baskets, paying it forward. I have families that have received baskets that have built hundreds of baskets, or people that don't even know us found our Facebook page. A young girl last year, she was 10 years old, I think, and she had a goal to build 100 baskets last year. And
Oh, dude.
she's getting ready to top that again this year.
I love that. I love
So
that.
yeah, she's just people like that. It all adds up, and like I tell people, even if it's one basket, when we're looking for these reps across the country, our goal is to be like one basket in every state. I always say. So the Team Easter for Eli, anybody that's across the country that wants to find us and try to help and do the same thing, even if it's one basket in a hospital, I can send flyers, information. I also can help make the contacts with the hospitals. And a lot of times people get confused that, we're representing just cancer patients. It's not that at all. We do all children, pediatrics, hospitals, small local hospitals as well in their pediatric department.
Well, thank you so much for being here and sharing what this
Yes.
organization is about.
Yes.
It has blessed me just to hear what it's grown into. I mean, wow, that's a wow thing.
too.
And I'm just so appreciative of what you're doing for these children and
Mark.
know that you are doing a great, great thing. And if you want to know more, we will have his website listed, and we encourage you to help and support this great organization. And when we come back, we will have our tip for the day.
Does tax preparation overwhelm you? Do you want assurance that your taxes are done right? Do you want to ensure that you're getting your maximum refund? Let me tell you about the New Life Worship Center Tax Ministry. This ministry began over 14 years ago, and in their first year, they helped 2 people with their taxes. The second year, they increased to around 100. Since then, they've grown to a 25-member team of volunteers from around the world. The creator of this ministry, Scott Seifer, began tax preparation in the Air Force, and H&R Block equipped him to oversee his thriving ministry. Over the years, they have helped 7,100 people receive a total of more than $10 million in tax refunds, and all that is asked is a $30 minimum donation. We encourage you to take advantage of this ministry opportunity. Contact them at 814-215-1933 for more details.
Made by Vogel is a father and son business that produces high-quality handmade wooden products such as cutting boards, bowls, bottle stoppers, and more. Products for sale can be found on their Etsy site or in downtown Altoona at the Clay Cup. You can't go wrong buying from Made by Vogel.
Maybe with this cold weather, you're starting to think about vacation. Well, I wanted to share a pretty cool place to vacation that isn't far from here, and it doesn't cost a whole lot either, and that's Deep Creek, Maryland. It's only a 2-hour drive, and it truly is a great place to vacation. My family has vacationed here multiple times. There are beautiful homes to rent for any size family. You see, there's usually 15 of us, so we need a pretty big house, and they have them. While there, we love to rent a boat and spend the day on the lake tubing. We love to go see the waterfalls at Swallow Falls State Park. There's also some cute little shops to visit, a roller coaster to ride, miniature golf to try, whitewater rafting, and so much more. We always have a wonderful time, and we love how close it is to us. It even has something for the winter months if that's something of interest. I highly recommend booking a vacation to Deep Creek. And until next time, let's talk about it.